How's it going, everybody? And in today's video, we will be talking about the principles of self-improvement. Before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting, as that will help this video reach other people that might benefit from it. So before we get into the video, let me just say that there are two very important aspects of my life when it comes to self-improvement. One of them was that last year I used to weigh 205 pounds, and it wasn't until later into the year where I started changing up my lifestyle, which led me to losing 25 pounds. And the second thing is more specifically it's something that I remember when I first started my self-improvement journey. So what that thing was when I first started self-improvement, I remember telling myself, I'm going to wake up early the next day and do something productive. I'm going to wake up early, go for a run, and then spend the entire morning just working on my business. The next morning, I did wake up at 5 a.m. and I did go on that run. I went around running in my neighborhood and I tired myself out really bad. And when I got home, instead of doing the hard work on my projects or whatever, like I said to myself that I was going to do, instead I fell back asleep. I just flopped on my bed and fell back asleep, and it wasn't until 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Where I woke up and essentially I lost that whole entire morning. Now, mind you, it would have been okay if once I woke up, I said, oh crap, and then I went back to start working on my stuff. But no, the complete opposite. I actually just spent the entire day doing nothing, just being very unproductive and lazy. And the second thing, which was the weight loss, essentially, just to sum it up very quickly, I was overweight due to my bad habit lifestyle of eating junk food, being not physically active, and I took actionable steps to change all that up and go from weighing 205 pounds to what I am now, 180 pounds, essentially through self-improvement. So in this video, we will be talking about the principles that make up self-improvement. And the reason why I gave those two stories was because those are good examples of what self-improvement is and how to learn from it, my failures. The principles of self-improvement I believe to be are discipline, willpower, motivation, and consistency. And understanding what it means to do to get to your goal, and what it means to do to not get to your goal, which I'll explain in a bit. So discipline is essentially voluntarily choosing to put yourself through some sort of discomfort, whether it be fasting for a whole day, going to the gym and doing an intense workout, forcing yourself to do work when you're feeling lazy, putting your body and mind through some sort of tribulation so that you can come out stronger, both mentally and physically, and to be able to put yourself through that same process again. Willpower is very similar to discipline. It's more so doing the hard work over and over and over again, which then leads to consistency. It's, again, doing it over and over, but it all derives from I think the most two important things, willpower and discipline. It all starts there, and then comes the consistency and the motivation. The motivation aspect, I believe, is less important, still important, but less important compared to the first three, only because motivation is more so, it's an emotion. You don't feel motivated to do, to be productive or whatnot. It's good to be motivated, but it's not good to solely rely on it. So what I recommend focusing first is your willpower and discipline, and then using motivation to your advantage. When you're in the self-improvement journey and working towards something, if you feel that motivation to push yourself, that's probably the best thing, as you can use that to your advantage to get yourself even further. Another thing to understand about motivation, though, is that basically motivation is dopamine. When you don't have, when your dopamine is fried, that means you're going to have little to no motivation. So that's why if you're somebody who lacks a lot of discipline and willpower, and you try to motivate yourself to be productive or something, you're bound to fail. It's like what I mentioned at the beginning of the video with my with me being overweight, or with me trying to go for that run. It's because at that time I lacked the willpower and discipline, but for the run, I was motivated to wake up early and go for a run and be productive. But again, because I lacked the other necessary principles, I was bound for failure. When you combine all of those things together, it's a higher chance for you to achieve your goals and be consistent. It's a higher chance for you to achieve your goals and maintain that lifestyle. Of working hard and building good habits for other things you might want to accomplish. And the last part is understanding good habits and bad habits. So any good habit that you want to start doing, it requires you to be disciplined, because you have to voluntarily choose to put yourself through that pain in order to achieve that good habit and achieve your goal. And in order to do that, you need the discipline and willpower, motivation, and consistency, but more so discipline. Bad habits are obviously things that are not good for you, but the reason why people do bad habits is because they're comfortable with the bad habit. So the reason why I was overweight is because I became comfortable with eating junk food every day after my shift, or not being productive on my day off, and taking actionable steps to get myself from A to B. And that's what bad habits are. It's complacency and comfortability, versus good habits, which are uncomfortability and pain. So when you take these principles that I just explained and look at the stories that I said at the beginning of this video, you can see why I failed and how I could have improved or done it in a better way for success. When I wanted to go for a run, when I wanted to wake up early and be productive, the reason why I failed was because I was not disciplined, I didn't have any willpower, and I had no consistency. Maybe I had the motivation, but because I didn't have the other three, well, that's why I failed. That's why after coming back from that run, I fell back asleep. If you look at why I was overweight, you could say that I lacked all four. I had no willpower to change my lifestyle, no discipline to take action. I had no consistency. I was consistent with the bad habits. That's the only consistency I had. And I had no motivation to change. Even though I didn't like where I was in life, because I didn't have those principles, I was getting nowhere. And essentially that's what complacency also is having this, in a way, satisfaction with how crappy your life is. You might not like it, but in a way you're satisfied because you lack the principles and you're comfortable. And that's a deadly combination, and essentially that's just a road to failure. And that's what this video is essentially about, is to help people who are in that same situation that I was, to understand, this is how you unscrew your life and get to where you want to be, and be happy with who you are and how you look, and with the things that you do in life. If you made it this far to the video, I thank you so much. Again, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting down below, as this video will help other people in that same spot again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.